Hello, I'm Mark and this is my lovely wife Sian and we're up here at Trevisker Garden Centre just outside Padstow.
So Mark studied horticulture at
Pershore.
So he's fully trained and knows his shizzle. And I studied fashion and design at Falmouth. But it works, doesn't it? Mark,
Well, yeah, I do the practical side of things and you make it look nice.
well, yeah, and actually there's a little bit more than that I do.
Yeah.
But I love all the retail and I love sourcing beautiful things. But I love, obviously, I love plants more than anything. So I do all the displays and move stuff about, that kind of stuff.
I carry things around.
Yeah. I point and go, put that over there. And he goes, you can't do that, it'll fall over. I go, well, that's fine. Make it work.
Yeah, you don't get gravity sometimes.
I don't, no. Gravity and beauty, sometimes they don't really mix, do they? So.
Yeah, and I grow plants and that's what I like doing.
And you're bloody good at it.
Did I end up going to college to do that? Well, that's not normal either. I wasn't sure what to do, and I was doing commercial horticulture, and I wanted to go to college and study it, but they didn't run. They decided they weren't going to run that course anymore, and I was asked to phone the principal at a certain time on a certain date, and I phoned him up, and he was back in the old days when they had pub phones.
I was going to say, where was the phone?
Yeah, I was in a pub, wasn't
Always
it?
comes down to a pub.
Yeah, I was in the pub, innit?
Always comes back to the pub.
But I was down Ireland snorkeling. I suddenly realised, it's 1:30, I've got to make this phone call. Ran in the pub, put 50p in the old phone, dialed the number, and of course, this going down rapid. The numbers were going down in them days, wasn't it?
Payphones.
And I heard him say on the end of the phone, look, what do you want to do with your career? And I suddenly remembered a mate of mine was talking about garden centres could be a good future. And I mentioned the word garden centre, and the money ran out, didn't it? So that was that. I was enrolled in a garden centre management course. I'd never even been in one.
Your fate was sealed from that moment.
Yeah, I've got a background in growing and agriculture and horticulture, but I'd never been in a garden centre before.
Well, I don't think I had until we built one. I don't think I'd ever been in one.
Well, I liked the idea of it, to be honest, because I'd always worked outside growing, farming, lambing, the rest of it. It was, you could still work outside in the fresh air, but if it was raining, you could come indoors, and I just thought that would be a revelation to come indoors in the rain. So And
do you remember I was painting glass, wasn't I? And I was selling it in the local galleries and stuff. And I was like, that's brilliant. And I had a table set up in our first tunnel with all my painted glass on it. I was like, I'll build my own shop. Yeah. Brilliant.
Tiny version of what we've got now, isn't it?
I know. Amazing.
How did Trevisker start? Not ordinarily, really. I was out one night in a pub and it was like about 3 o'clock in the morning, and the landlord said, look, we got no one to do the flowers this year. So as we got absolutely no experience of doing hanging baskets and window boxes, then just agreed to do like the most prominent pub in town that went away with the brewery competitions and Padstow Bloom every year. So so that was the start of that.
No polytunnel.
No.
No money.
No.
No experience.
No, nearly Easter.
We'd already met, and I was travelling in Australia, so I was no help whatsoever.
Which was not convenient.
Wasn't very convenient, was it?
No. So I woke up in the morning. I thought, well, what do? Do you go back and say we can't do it, or front it out and just go back and say, yeah, brilliant, let's crack on with it? So bought a tunnel, cracked on with it, and it was really good. To my surprise, it won all the competitions. I was gobsmacked.
I came back from Australia and sold the extra hanging baskets in the field, and that's kind of how it's always happened from there.
Yeah.
You kind of grow the stuff, and I sell it. There's a bit of a crossover.
Yeah. There you go.
That's why it works.
There you are.
That's why we don't argue much.
So now, 22 years later, things have come on a little bit since selling a few hanging baskets in the field.
1997.
Yeah. So what we did, we loved that. The next year we went and saw a few more pubs and bounced off that, did a load more.
And pick your own strawberries?
yeah,
Wasn't
pick your own
that
strawberries.
the next
Yeah.
year?
Yeah, so we put that the money we made that year, we put into an acre of pick your own strawberries, so we could get people into the field. Then we moved the tunnels into the field alongside that, and we started growing some bedding plants alongside that.
Yep.
Just to see if any would come in the door or not. I mean, I wasn't convinced anyone was going to come in, and they did. So we've rolled it on every year. We've done it bit by
Done
bit.
something a bit bigger and a bit better and a bit different.
Yeah.
We've done mazes
Yeah.
along the way.
That's fun.
Many different harebrained schemes.
Yeah.
But we've always stayed growing awesome plants at the very heart.
And then what we don't grow, we support all the local growers around Cornwall, and we don't buy out of Cornwall. That way you get a real strong plant that's going to survive on the North Cornish coast. You want to buy rubbish in from Africa and Holland, etc. like that. I mean, it ain't got open air living on the Cornish coast, is it? It'd be ridiculous.
It's strong.
Yeah.
Grown tough.
Yeah. So we've got competition around us, and we went and looked around some local garden centres, and we noticed no one was specialising in plants for the local area. You could be in these garden centres, you could be in the country, so we thought we'd specialise in it. And that's worked out really well. We've got good tough plants, and people come to us because we've got plants that survive.
The thing is, we're battered by the wind here, aren't we? So
we're battered here in the garden centre by wind, so if they can't live here,
yeah.
if they live here,
That's
they're
what
going to live in
I'm
your
saying.
place, you know what I mean?
Two lovely children, Tom who is nearly 18 and Joss who is 12. So when Tom came along, he spent a lot of time here as a baby, in his pushchair and his playpen next to the potting bench, where he'd sit and all his lunch would be covered in compost, all his toys would be covered in compost. But it's been amazing place to bring up children for starters. What an environment. Joss was a bit different, wasn't she?
Oh, she hated it
she
up
wouldn't
here.
sit in a playpen, she was like a wild cage down and get me out.
Yeah.
But it's been fantastic. What a place. Inspirational and everything growing. But also at that time, that's when you start to really think about also, what you're putting in your body, i.e. food, but also what impact we're having on the environment. When you have kids, well, that's how it worked for me. When you have kids, it all gets very, very important what we're doing to the planet and how we're leaving it. So that's when we started to try and be as think of the word.
Sustainable,
yeah, as possible.
Well, we couldn't afford not to be. We were skint. We couldn't throw anything away. Even our rubbish, you had to use it again.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And I was half pulled up with my gran down Porthcothan, and she was proper old school. You didn't throw nothing away. You meant everything.
My mum was exactly the same. And I've only just, since having children, realised how important that is and what she was doing.
My
and
gran
how brilliant
fix
you
a
were,
needle.
Mum. Yeah, she would save everything, milk bottle tops, just a lot. Stamps would go to some charity for the blind, everything. And now you go, oh my God, yeah, that is really important.
What do you buy eggs when you get a chicken? Hey.
Well, we didn't go that far. We were in Birmingham, in a terraced house with a little garden. We didn't get chickens. Didn't have room for chickens.
We had loads of chickens.
So we are now waging more on plastic. Started maybe a year or so ago. There was a whole Facebook thing. Every time you go to the beach, you pick up 3 pieces of litter. And then we started following the Beach Guardian, who are amazing. But you start to see how much plastic you're using. And you start to realise that plastic is going nowhere, and that is really frightening. So we're doing lots and lots of initiatives here, aren't we? We are doing our own refill for fertilisers. We are keeping the growing pots at the till. So we take the plant out of the pot at the till, we send it home to you in a compostable bag. All the pots we're using are made from recycled plastic and are curbside recyclable. But yeah, I also saw this amazing quote on Facebook, I don't know who it was by, but it says, if your bath is overflowing with water, the first thing you do is not get a mop. The first thing you do is you turn the tap off. So we're having to really rethink how we do things. You've got to think outside the box and change the way we use plastic.
And just stop buying it, really, innit?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
Stop
Instead
buying
of going, okay, what do I do with this piece of plastic? Do I go off and recycle it? Don't buy it in the first
Just
place.
buying it.
Yeah.
Send them.
Refill,
Yeah.
reuse,
Yeah.
and at the at the end you can recycle.
Yeah. But if it's covered in plastic, if you're buying something in the supermarket or wherever it is, and it's like weighs a gram, but it's got 9 grams of plastic around it, what's the point?
Yeah. Go to a butcher.
Yeah.
Go to our garden centre.
Yeah.
Go to a fruit and veg shop. They're still around. Go to a refill store. Change the way we think. I know a lot of us don't have much time anymore, which is an issue. But it's the same for us. But we've started to work it out, haven't we? Even our milk now, we're buying in glass milk bottles from the farm shop, Hester Farm Shop, which is fantastic. Just take your empties back, get two full ones.
It's loads better. I mean, it costs more per litre when you buy it, but when you get it, it's like cream. You use so much less of it, you spend less a week.
Stuff, and it's local stuff.
Supermarket stuff's like water, isn't it? No one is so cheap. It's just buying water.
You've got to think
water's full of
food miles
sky.
as well. Food miles, it's it's local.
Yeah.
So
things we're doing to try and reduce it. So we just don't try and buy it in the first place. So we sell a lot of gifts, but nothing's plastic based in our gift shop, is it?
What we call it is we don't sell ocean fodder.
No.
We just sell good stuff.
Tin plastic.
Beautiful stuff. Not ocean fodder.
Yeah.
Not stuff that you're going to use once and throw away.
Yeah. So that's the first thing we do. Another great thing we do, we're about the only people doing it. If you come to the till, you've got your plants in pots, we'll take the pot right off there and then, put it in a compostable bag, so you take it home and plant it, leave us with the pot, and then we've got a lovely thing running with the Ocean Recovery Trust. They've sent a skip up, and they'll all go in the skip then, if we don't reuse them ourselves. And that goes off and they get recycled and they get made into ocean going kayaks by Odyssey Innovation.
Yeah, some of it will.
Yeah, well, he's got too much now, but the plastic is then being moved on to other projects.
It goes to Exeter City Council, doesn't it, who are right on it with recycling.
One of them was a Glastonbury stage. How cool was that?
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What else are we doing? So we've another bit, the only people doing it is fertilizer refills. So you've got your Tomorite and the etc. So we've made our own Tomorite up now, big plastic jar container of it. So we're selling it in a glass bottle, and when you've emptied it, you come and refill it yourself.
Come and refill it.
So you haven't got single-use plastics in that area, and also as well, it's good for the environment because you haven't got a lorry bringing mainly a water-based product using fuel.
Fertilizer is water, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you're buying a plastic container with fertilizer, that's a lot of water just being transported. It's single-use plastic, so that plastic bottle is most probably just going to get thrown away, and you're transporting a hell of a lot of water. But yeah, if you come here, we make it up here, and you can refill your bottle.
Yeah. What else do we do? So you'll carrier bags. Well, carrier bags are a swear word now. Anyway, so we found these lovely plant-based ones, and we give those out instead of the plastic bags.
I reckon?
But nobody wants them anymore.
No, I
anyway.
reckon it's maybe one person in every 20 now that will take a bag.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I can air them if they want it.
Well, no, we get a lot of visitors, so they might want to take their plants far away. Yeah. And that's cool because they're made from a plant starch. They're completely compostable and they break down into nothing harmful. So, that's fine. And I don't understand why everyone isn't using these bags. They are there. They are widely available. Come on, people. Ditch the plastic.
Another thing we've trying this year is our compost obviously comes in plastic bags. So we've started using a firm called Dalesfoot. They're making their own compost up north out of wall moss and bracken, aren't they?
Wall moss and bracken, but it comes in a bag that's made from recycled plastic and is recyclable. Yeah. And we're going to try and trial.
The compost refill.
Bring your own bucket and take the compost you need. But we haven't quite worked it out, but it's coming.
Yeah.